Umpisa na natin kay Chris Benoit. Ano? I think he's the athlete na medyo familiar tayo if you're into true crime. And if you're into wrestling, most probably you've heard of Chris Benoit. His birth name is Christopher Michael Benoit, and he was born in the year 1967, May 21st, 1967, sa Montreal, Canada. Sabi ng tatay niya, as a child, he had obsessive tendencies. Well, mostly with wrestling. So I think um, parang if you're a kid and you're obsessed with something like a sport, it it's seen as healthy, di ba? Kapag if it's something physical, something athletic, yung ganyan. So he was totally in love with the idea of becoming a wrestler. And by age 12, nagpe-prepare na siya kasi gusto talaga niyang mag-pursue ng career sa
Oh,
wrestling.
wow.
Mm. High school pa lang siya, nananalo na siya ng mga awards in wrestling and bodybuilding. And doon nagkaroon siya ng sobrang laser focus para maging world-class wrestler. And di na clear kung nag-attend pa siya ng college niya after niya graduate ng high school. But what was clear was that he got married at the age of 30, I think.
Mm-hmm.
His first marriage was to Martina Benoit. Pero nag-divorce sila, and then he married again in 2007. So that's after 10 years, tama ba? To Nancy Benoit. And that's where he had three kids. That's when he had three kids with Nancy. Ayun. So, growing up from high school, he became like what he wanted to begin with. He wanted to be a professional wrestler, and that's exactly what he did. He got a professional wrestling career starting in 1985. May tinatawag na Stampede Wrestling. Yun, doon siya
Mm-hmm.
nag-start. Excuse me. Meron siyang mga favorite moves, wrestling moves na ginagawa, such as the sharpshooter, diving headbutt, and snap. Mukhang interesting yung diving headbutt. Whatever that is. At tsaka yung snap. Ganun-ganun siguro.
Ala.
Ganun yung snap. Is that a wrestling move? Ay, shoutout sa mga creepers na mahilig sa wrestling. I know
Yeah.
si
Si
Jade,
Jade.
mahilig sa
Mm.
wrestling yan. Sila John.
Si John, oo, sa Redditon Weekly.
Sa ayan,
Mahilig sa
podcaster,
wrestling.
fellow podcast friend, mahilig sa wrestling.
Tsaka
So yun,
MTG, di ba?
ayun, oh nga pala. How could you forget? MTG, shout out. Okay. So from dun sa Stampede Wrestling na yun, naging successful siya dun. And it earned him enough credibility na na makonsider for bigger, more popular wrestling leagues. So from his run in Stampede, nagkaroon siya ng mga titles, nanalo siya ng mga awards like the British Commonwealth titles, tag team titles, ganyan. And in the early 90s, he established himself sa New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that's where he won two tournaments. So medyo mahaba-haba yung kanyang career, and
Mm.
along the way he met with fellow wrestling legend si Eddie Guerrero. And
Mhm.
I think they formed a close friendship. Tapos in 2002, he continuing on with his career, um na he already joined WWE. Tapos naging first WWE Tag Team Champion siya with Kurt Angle. And then in 2004, nanalo sila sa Royal Rumble match.
Mm.
And natalo niya si Triple H. Ito lang yung mga na nating yung mga sobrang sikat na names, 'di ba, when
Oo.
it comes to wrestling nung high school tayo. Sakto nung high school tayo to eh. I'm not sure kung if they're still around because I don't follow wrestling that much. Pero sila yung mga big names at the time. Ayan. So, just to cut it short, ang ganda ng career niya and ang dami niyang fans, sobrang sikat siya. Until, ito na tayo sa on the day, June 25th, 2007. So, yung WWE, also known as his employers,
Mhm.
nag-request sila ng welfare check kasi si Chris, he has missed weekend events na walang pa-notice. So, medyo
Oh, nag-aalala
tataka
na.
na sila, nag-aalala na sila, concerned na sila. So, the police went to Chris Benoit's home in Fayetteville, Georgia. Sorry kung medyo hinihingal ako.
Bakit?
Hindi ko na alam kung bakit. Kahit dun sa last episode natin tsaka sa sa
Slide ba?
slide, nung ine-edit ko na, hinihingal ako. Mataba problems. But I'll try to ang creepy kasi. Parang may nag-mouth breathing sa background. Ayan. Sabihan mo ako pag hinihingal ako.
Sige, sige.
Ayun, so the police went to his home and that's where the officers discovered the bodies of Chris Benoit, his wife Nancy, and their 7-year-old son Daniel
No.
around 2:30 p.m. Ayun. So essentially his family. Upon investigating, walang nakikitang ibang suspects yung mga authorities. It was only Chris that they were investigating who could have committed the murders. Walang ebidensya na there was someone else in the house.
Hmm.
So, ito yung na-figure out nila na timeline. Over a 3-day period, Chris had killed his wife and son before committing the S word, before unaliving himself. On the first day, it looks like Chris strangled his wife Nancy. Tinali muna niya before niya sakalin hanggang mamatay.